Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Lyric and I'm a licensed esthetician, and this is where I talk about skincare and all things beauty. So welcome. For this video today, I decided to talk about my skin and my personal history, and things do get a little bit personal in here. I start talking about a little bit of the female issues I've had in my life and how they've affected my skin. So if you guys would like to learn about my skin journey and you guys want to hear about some of the things I've done wrong and right with my skincare, just keep watching. So I figured that since I've been talking so much about skincare lately, I would talk about my own skin. So that's why I'm fresh-faced today. You guys can see my crazy breakouts I've been going through on my chin. You guys can see my hyperpigmentation on my cheek area. And I've had some little spots come up on my forehead, nothing crazy. But my skin is constantly ebbing and flowing. My skin is obviously not perfect by any means, but it's come a long way. If any of you guys knew me back in my really bad acne days, you guys can probably look at my skin now and see how different my skin is from side to side. I mean, it's really night and day in comparison. I don't do any filtering on my actual YouTube channel. Like, I do not add any filters over my videos or anything like that. So what I film here on my MacBook, it just goes right in and I edit it and that's it, and I post it. I don't edit the color, I don't change the saturation, I don't edit any smoothing effects to my face on here on YouTube. So some people say like, oh, like you always filter your stuff on Instagram, and it's like, yeah, so what? I like to filter my photos that I post on Instagram, but on here, I'm transparent with you guys. I don't have makeup on my face right now, so, and I don't feel the need to put a ton of makeup on when I'm filming talking about my skin, and I wanted to be transparent with you guys and show you guys what my skin looks like right now with no makeup on. So the first thing I want to talk about is when I went through puberty. That's kind of, you know, where everyone first starts to develop skin issues and really starts to see what their skin's going to be like as they grow older. So for me, my skin growing up from the time I hit puberty and got my lovely monthly cycle from Mother Nature to, you know, well into college, I really didn't have too many issues with my skin. The main thing that I had problems with was hydration in my skin. I was using terrible products on my skin back then, and it's like all the products I'm telling you guys not to use today, I've used on my skin. I'm a total hypocrite. I used to do those things. The thing is, I have learned and I have evolved, and I do not use those things on my skin anymore. I mean, my mom swore to me that Purpose soap, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. I'll try and insert a picture if I can find it. Purpose soap, my mom swore by. She's like, oh, this is the best thing for your face. It'll get rid of all your acne and it's best for teenagers and yada yada. And literally all it is stripping ingredients, and it's so bad for your skin. So please don't use that. Please don't use Neutrogena or Clean and Clear. Like, these things are just, estheticians and skin specialists on YouTube will tell you guys over and over again to stop using these things because they're not good for your skin. I used to use the Neutrogena grapefruit wash for my face for years, and I constantly still had the same issues and they never went away. My skin texture was horrible. All through high school and through college, I was just using junk on my skin, and my skin looked like junk. That's kind of, you get what you put on your skin, you get what you put into it. Anyways, so early life for me, didn't really have anything really going on with my skin, and I'm gonna kind of just talk to you guys about when my skin went really bad for me and what I was doing to my skin at the time that was just making it worse. So let's get into that right now. So the issue that I had with my skin, one day I was not feeling very great. I was having some pain in my pelvis, like down on my right side of my pelvis. And it was getting to the point where it was knocking the wind out of me. It was really painful. It wasn't like I had cramps, like I was on my cycle. And I'm sorry if this is TMI for some of you guys. You guys can totally click away if you want to. I was bleeding a little bit, but it wasn't like a cycle for me. So I ended up going to the emergency room, and they checked me in. They did an internal ultrasound, and they figured out that I had a para-ovarian cyst. Now, para-ovarian cysts are different from ovarian cysts because ovarian cysts sit on your ovaries. Para-ovarian cysts are found either on your fallopian tubes or the lining of your pelvis. Mine was not sitting on my ovaries, it was sitting on a fallopian tube, and it is actually still there. That was about 4 years ago. I've had multiple cysts since then. I think I've had 5 total, and all the other ones have either burst or shrunk and they've gone away. But the one that I originally got is still there. I actually was scheduled to have surgery for it, and I had to cancel it twice now. Don't get me started, it's a long story. But I am going to get surgery to remove the cyst because in the future, if I ever want kids, I want to be able to know that I'm not going to have that rupture when I'm pregnant. I also need to have a test done for endometriosis, and I'm going to do a whole other video on this topic completely alone, but I just kind of wanted to give you some backstory. So when you have cysts like this in an area that you're not supposed to have them, it does release a lot of hormones, and it causes hormone imbalances within your body. So because of these cysts that I had, I started to develop really bad acne issues. My family does have a history of developing cysts, like uterine cysts and stuff like that, so it's nothing new, and a lot of women suffer from this. So if you guys suffer from this, just know that you're not alone. I've dealt with this for 4 years now, so I completely understand. And a lot of people downplay this and think that it's not that big of a deal, and it really is. It has been so painful. I've broken my knee, and I've had pain that's been worse from these cysts. Anyway, so it was causing a lot of hormone imbalances within my body, and I started to develop acne from it, which I really had never had before. And it was like serious acne. It was cystic acne. It wasn't just a breakout here or there, because I would be like, oh, my skin's breaking out so bad, and it would be maybe more along the lines of right now, where I have like these little bumps here, and then I maybe would have like a zit over here, and I'd be like, oh, my skin's breaking out so bad. And then I'd have my family members that suffer from like really bad cystic acne be like, you're not breaking out for shit, shut up, like that's nothing. I didn't really believe them until I started to develop cystic acne on my own. And then I was like, oh shit, you were right, I wasn't even breaking out before. That was like nothing compared to this. And long story short, when I started esthetician school, I was still dealing with these cysts. I was still going through treatments and talking to my doctor, and I was trying different types of birth controls to kind of monitor them and shrink them, and nothing was really working. Nothing really has worked. I've tried for 4 years to do something about them, to see if they would go away on their own, and nada. So that's why I decided I wanted to have surgery for it. So anyways, getting back to my skin issues. Once I started my esthetician school, my skin was breaking out here and there. I was having little cystic acne spots come up. It wasn't like massive, like everywhere on my face, like on both sides of my cheeks. It wasn't on my forehead and on my chin. It wasn't like everywhere on my face at that time. It was kind of just sporadic. It was like here and there. And then I started to do a bunch of different treatments to my skin in esthetician school, which obviously I had to do, you know? So I did have to get all these different types of treatments done on my skin, and it was in school that I realized that I had a sensitive skin type. I never really knew that before, because up until esthetician school, I really didn't take care of my skin very well, I'll be honest. I would go to sleep with makeup on my face all the time. I really just did a shitty job of taking care of my skin until I started learning about my skin. And that's why I want to talk to all of you guys about this, because I promise you guys it's not too late to start taking care of your skin. Anyone, even if you're in your 70s and you're watching this, there are still things that you can do to reverse some of the wrinkles that you guys have, and to help just boost radiance and boost youthfulness in your skin. It's definitely not too late for anyone, and especially if you're younger, getting the jump on it now, I promise you, you guys will see results. Once I started to take care of my skin, I was taking care of it at the same time that I was over treating my skin. So in esthetician school, what you do basically is you go to class, and you lay in a bed and you get treatments done to your skin, and you give treatments to other girls or other guys in your school. In the process of me constantly doing this, I was over treating my skin, so I was just doing too much to it, to the point where it just didn't ever have a chance to react, and I was trying all these new products on it, and it was just overloading my skin, and it was just freaking my skin out. So my skin was developing more and more and more and more acne as I started school, because when I started school initially, I was just an oily skin type. Then I moved into a sensitive skin type because my skin started to react and turn red from certain treatments. Then my skin turned very acne prone. So it went from oily to sensitive to acne prone sensitive. And it started to get worse and worse and worse, and I could not figure out why. And in hindsight, I realized I was doing too much to my skin. I was doing too many acne treatments. I was doing too many masks trying to pull out impurities. I was dehydrating my skin too much. I wasn't balancing my skin. I was just trying to dry out all the oil instead of balancing it. This is why I constantly talk on my channel about balancing your skin, because I did this in the past and I left my skin imbalanced. And I want to share with you guys the wrong things that I've done with my skin that have helped me get to where I am today, and realize like, okay, those things didn't work. I need to try something new. So once I finished esthetician school, my skin started to calm down because I wasn't doing those treatments constantly to my skin. So unfortunately, I really don't have many pictures of what my skin used to look like. I was so ashamed of it. I wouldn't go anywhere and take any pictures with anyone, because, or if I did, I was covering it up with so much makeup so you really couldn't even see it. Or I was constantly putting like a filter over it so you couldn't even see how bad my skin really was. And I've really dug back and tried to see what my skin was looking like back then, and I can't find any pictures because I was constantly hiding it. So I'm sorry that I really can't share with you guys how bad my skin was at its worst. Right out of esthetician school, I got a job with Bobbi Brown Cosmetics. I finally started to see my skin looking a lot better because I was using Bobbi skincare, and my skin loved Bobbi. And it's just worked really well for me. I'm not going to say that it's going to work well for everyone, but it really did work well for me. And I used to use their cleansing oil just as a cleanser, and I'd use it to double cleanse. So I'd take all my makeup off with it, and then I'd use it and cleanse my skin all over again. So at the same time as I was using my Bobbi Brown, I started to use another brand, which I've mentioned so many times on my channel here, and that is Strivectin. So Strivectin's dual response hyaluronic acid serum is what I credit my skin completely transforming to, because as soon as I introduced this into my skincare, my skin has never felt so baby soft. It has never felt so like there was no texture on my skin. My acne cleared up. It was because I was finally giving my skin the hydration that it needed. Now I do have pretty oily skin, but it's oily to normal. And I was always thinking it was oily to oily. It was just all oily because I was stripping my face so much that my skin just wasn't balanced. And once I started to learn about this and I used a cleansing oil rather than using a really stripping cleanser on my face, my oil finally started to balance out, and it was really just in my T-zone here. And once I figured that out, it was a huge game changer for me. My skin finally felt like my skin again. And I know how frustrating it is to anyone that has acne, that you just don't feel comfortable in your own skin. You just, I mean, I would sit and cry sometimes because I would look at my skin and I just didn't know how to fix it. Even as an esthetician, I was thinking I was doing all the right things, and I was learning, and I was still not comprehending what I needed to do for my skin. And it's just like, I really feel for you guys that have really bad acne and you guys are still at a crossroads about treating it. I'm hoping that the things I'm telling you is helping you on this channel, and I totally sympathize. And I can't say I'm sorry enough for what you guys are going through. All I can do is try and help you and tell you what I've gone through and how I've changed things for myself. So after Bobbi, I ended up going to Aveda, and I started using Aveda skincare. Now, I still use a lot of Aveda hair care. I truly do like a lot of Aveda stuff, but their skincare to me, no shade to the brand, really did not work for my skin. I know some people that work for the brand that love Aveda skincare. My skin hated Aveda skincare, so I was using it for like 6 months while I was working for the brand, and my skin just, it reset and went right back to how bad it was again, and I was like, shit, I just did all this work and now it's gone back again. And I was like, I don't know why it's doing this, and then I finally realized, like, duh. I was thinking just because Aveda uses naturally derived products and you don't add fragrances and stuff like that, that how could it possibly be wrong for my skin if it's all this really great stuff? And just because something's all natural doesn't mean it's going to work for your skin, and I kind of learned that the hard way. So I finally just continued using the stuff from Aveda, and then I switched on to Dermalogica for my skin. With Dermalogica, I really, really liked it. I still use some Dermalogica products, and I really like Dermalogica as a brand as a whole. They're great. So if you guys are looking for a good line of skincare, I definitely recommend Dermalogica. They are a little bit on the higher side, but honestly, when it comes to stuff like that, I want you to spend more money on your skincare than you are on your makeup. So Dermalogica is a truly great brand. I use a lot of products that really help to set my skin straight. And if you guys want me to go like brand by brand that I really like and talk about all my favorite products of that brand, leave a like or comment down below letting me know that you'd like me to do that, because I can totally do that for you guys. Let's see, what did I do after Dermalogica? Can you guys tell that I've just done everything to my skin possible under the sun? So once I stopped using Dermalogica products, I started to use Curology. And I was just having an issue with Dermalogica. I started using their Biolumin C serum, and it started to break my skin out, so I stopped using that. I tried using like a multivitamin serum from Dermalogica. That started to break my skin out, so I just felt like my skin wasn't reacting to Dermalogica the way that it was before. I just am not using them anymore because I've switched and gone on to different, not necessarily better things, but I've just switched up my skincare a little bit. So I was using Curology. I still use my Curology products. I still have a subscription to Curology, so I get their products monthly, even though I'm using a plethora of different things on my skin now. I still do use Curology in the core. I love their cleanser. It's so gentle for my skin, yet it still really cleans my skin. I still use their treatment serum that you get, and I still like their moisturizer, especially now in the summertime. It's so lightweight, but it keeps my skin feeling really hydrated. So now we're coming up to current in my skincare routines. And my skin, as I should say, has fluctuated so much in between all these things. So I went from, you know, Bobbi Brown, having my skin be really great using Bobbi Brown and Strivectin. Then I started to switch up to Aveda to try that out. It didn't work for my skin. Then I went on to Dermalogica, and Dermalogica worked really well for my skin, but then I kind of felt like I hit a point where my skin just wasn't reacting to Dermalogica products anymore. It stopped working for my skin, so I switched over to Curology. What doing? You see his little ears? Oh, he always like sleeps back there while I film. It's so cute. Now I've switched on to higher end skincare. I've started to purchase skincare that's a little bit more expensive, and I don't regret it one bit. My skin has really transformed since I've started using new stuff. So right now on my skin, I use Fresh Beauty, I use Glow Recipe, I use Summer Fridays, Drunk Elephant, Tatcha, and a couple others that I am constantly using on my skin. Fresh so far has probably been my favorite, and I really love Tatcha. I love Vicky Tsai, the owner of Tatcha. They're always constantly liking my posts on Instagram, so I really love to support their brand because they're always supporting me. So does Summer Fridays and Drunk Elephant. They're always supporting my posts whenever I tag them, so I really appreciate those brands supporting me on Instagram, so I always try to use their skincare because they're always showing me love, so I want to show them love by purchasing their skincare. And not only that, their skincare works really well, especially Glow Recipe, Fresh, Tatcha, Drunk Elephant, and Summer Fridays. Those are like my favorites. Those are like my top 5 different skincare brands that I really, really love using right now. And Curology. I still love using my Curology stuff. For about 2 months now, I have consistently started to use my products every single day, and I've been using really good quality, natural, clean beauty products, and my skin is just like thanking me. It's like, thank God. My skin is just thanking me for giving it everything it's really been needing. So guys, that is pretty much it today. I just really wanted to run through my history and my past skin issues and what I've done to kind of try and fix them, and just assure you guys that this is an ebbing and flowing process. Your skin's not just gonna automatically be better and you're never gonna have to fix it again. I constantly have to go through phases where I have to fix my skin. You know, it's totally fine to have to constantly try new products and go through new things to try and find the right fit for your skin. Not everything is gonna work, so honestly, trial and error is the biggest thing that I can tell you is totally okay. And to just try and find what works for you. It may be more expensive and it may be cheap. You never know. My advice to you is to just keep going, keep trying. Talk to your skincare professionals. Talk to your estheticians like myself, or go to a dermatologist and get their opinion if you've never been. I promise you guys it'll help so much getting another opinion about your skin. Don't forget to like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell so you guys get notified every time that I post. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
So